I just got such a good question for Ask Sunny, so I figured we should just do another video while we can. So I'm gonna share the video with you, share the question, and then we'll dive in. This is a super common question. I'm sure you're gonna be able to relate, so hit that like button if you do. So let's dive in.
Hey Sunny, I am so happy you're doing the Ask Sunny series again. So I actually have this question a lot for the people that I really look up to and the people that I admire, kind of like you. Did you know when you were about to have a breakthrough, whether it's personal or whether it's business or whether it's both these marriages together? So basically what I mean is, as an entrepreneur, you're like hustling through, you're doing everything left, right, and center. You're really trying to give it your all. And with every failure over and over again, I know that there's a voice inside that just says, keep going. But did you know when you were at the brink of a breakthrough for your business, for your channel, and for your life?
Nadine, this is such a good question. And she was referencing the 3 marriages, which I talk about in this video, which is the marriage between yourself as a person, your relationships, and your business, and kind of balancing those 3 things. And as you also know, I reference in this video and in a lot of my videos, my motto is really test, fail, learn, grow, repeat. So do I know and have I known when I'm on the verge of a breakthrough? And also, how have I not given up in my entrepreneurial journey? Because it definitely is not easy. The nature of this beast is uncertainty. So if you can relate to that and you're excited about this, I'm gonna dive into the things that have kept me going and feeling like my next breakthrough is around the corner. So subscribe, it's free to do so. You can always change your mind later. Turn on notifications to check out my videos every week, and make sure you hit the like button and leave a comment with your biggest takeaway from today's video. So in terms of knowing when my next breakthrough is coming, I would say sometimes I have a feeling that I'm moving in the direction towards something big, but there is an ironic twist to that, which I'm gonna share in a second. So the first thing I will say is, I celebrate my wins. It doesn't matter if it's a tiny, teeny little thing and little win, I'm still celebrating it. I started doing this very early on because it was the only way to keep going. And one of the biggest mistakes I think that people make when they start a business or do anything challenging, it's a YouTube channel, it's a new relationship, whatever it is, you don't take the time to give yourself a little kudos for how far you've come and give yourself a little pat on the back. So a big part of my progress and my ability to keep going even when things were really hard was to celebrate every single little micro win. Did I wake up? Did I send an email? Did I publish a new video? Did I work on a new campaign? Those are all little wins. Did I take another breath? Win. So that's one thing. The next thing is my ability to pivot. I've talked about this. I recently talked about this in this video, and pivoting my business. And that is a huge key to success as an entrepreneur. When things happen that are out of your control, you need to know that your next breakthrough will come as long as you don't stop. I always say that the only way to lose is if you quit. If you keep going, inevitably, success will happen for you. That is one of my mottos, is that your success is inevitable. Being able to adapt and to look at what's going on in your business and really audit it with a clear set of eyes, and knowing your numbers, which I talked about in this video. It's an act of self-care to know your financials and know your numbers and have that certainty on what's going on. It allows you to make decisions and adjustments, and those adjustments can be the biggest key to your next breakthrough. So being able to pivot is really important. The next thing I will say is knowing yourself and being able to tune in and tune out the noise. You get a lot of information and a lot of advice as a new entrepreneur. Sometimes it's really hard to figure out what's right for you. So you have to figure out how you want to operate in your business and what feels right for you, and you have to learn what's a yes and what is a no. And for me, when something's a yes, and when I'm onto something good, my body feels expansive, my heart feels expansive, I feel free, I feel liberated, I feel motivated, I feel like I'm headed in the right direction, and I feel in flow. When I feel like something's a no, I kind of constrict, it feels forced, it feels like I'm headed in the wrong direction, and it's hard to describe that for each individual person, but that's what it feels like for me. And so I've learned to really trust myself and trust my body and trust how I feel about things. And oftentimes it could look like this big shiny thing to everybody else, but for me, it's a no. So you have to really tune into that feeling for you of what is a no and what is a yes. I would also say that for me, I pretty much every day will say to myself, it's coming. So whatever it is that I'm trying to work towards and I've set a vision for, it may not happen today, it may not happen tomorrow, it may not happen 10 years from now. But I will have Post-its on my wall or little vision boards around my house that remind me of what I'm going towards. And when I keep myself in check of that, I know the next breakthrough is inevitable and my next success is inevitable. Even if I don't know how I'm going to get there, I know if I keep moving towards it, it will happen. And truthfully, that's a muscle. So a big thing for me is understanding that this felt a lot more difficult at the beginning. And oftentimes when I am about to reach a new level or hit a new breakthrough, whether it's with my channel, with my relationships, with my business, there is some tension, there is some friction. It can feel sticky, it can feel hard, it can feel like I don't know what I'm doing, but that's why I talk about testing. And not everything has to be perfect, but I know if I keep just doing the things and trying different things, I'm gonna find my groove. So it's a muscle to know that you can always get back up, you can always pivot, you can always find a way. And if you just believe wholeheartedly for yourself, no one else's opinion matters. And what other people think of what you're doing, they're judging you because they're not doing it themselves or they're jealous. You have to believe it for yourself and remind yourself every freaking day that your next breakthrough is on its way to you. Say that to yourself in the morning. It's so important. So I think really understanding and getting aligned with your own vision and your own goals, and I really do believe that distraction and shiny object syndrome and all of those things, they come from a lack of vision. They come from a lack of knowing what you really want. And when we're not centered and aligned, it's easy to just be swayed back and forth by what everybody else is doing and all the shiny things that come up online and all the new platforms you have to try. That's bullshit. And you don't need all of that stuff to succeed. What you need is a clear vision of what you want to do, and don't stop till you get there. There's always going to be new levels. There's always going to be new devils. There's always going to be new breakthroughs. But as long as you keep all of those things in mind, I think it's so important. And one thing I talked about in this video where I talked about what I do when I'm overwhelmed, I remind myself of how far I've come and I create what I call a hero list. And that's something I recommend you do. So basically it's a list of all of the hard things you've done and all of the things that you've been able to achieve, big and small, throughout your life. And I have a list going back like almost 10 years now. I look at it anytime that I feel like I want to give up or I can't keep going. Hold on to those things and hold on to the belief that you are doing what you're meant to do. And even if it's not right now or it doesn't work out perfectly, something better is on the way to you. And you really have to trust that and believe in that in order to keep going. It's not toxic positivity, it's grounded positivity and realism and a true wholehearted belief in yourself and knowing it's okay to fail. One of my favorite quotes of all time is, "A queen is not afraid to fail. Failure is a stepping stone on the way to greatness," which is why I love and embrace failure, because at least I'm moving forward. At least I'm not stuck. At least I'm not sitting here judging what other people are doing and I'm focused on my own stuff and my next breakthrough. Are you with me? If you enjoyed this and if this answered your question, Nadine, please let me know. But if you enjoyed this, let me know what your big takeaway was in the comments. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. And I hope this was helpful for you. If you want to be in the next Ask Sunny, submit at the link below. Be part of my secret group. That's where to submit your videos and questions for me. I love doing these so much. And again, I hope this was really helpful for you. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.